What do you consider the key elements of an effective personal brand? I'm going to propose 5 real quick P's. The first is that it's got to be personal. And I'm totally aligned with what Agwings said, you don't just drift. If you are thinking of a purposeful, effective, transformative leadership personal brand, it's got to be personal. Personal means it's got to be authentic. You can't make this stuff up. Along the way, it will be difficult to carry. So it needs to be authentic to you, reflect your true self. So the coaching should be a really excellent tool to ignite and just tap into those places that are hidden, maybe because of the way you were socialized, the enculturalization, but the genius is sitting in there somewhere. So it needs to be personal. What are your values? And the coaching can bring this out. And if you begin this quality of a conversation younger, I think then you're heading into the answers sooner, and then you begin on this journey. Of course, you're scotting yourself through because you're aware of what your strengths are, whatever constraints you. Do you need to learn to speak up? Do you need to learn to have a firmer handshake? Do you want to learn to give me eye contact? I'm loving it. Some of these things that we may need to, so that we are authentic and we are true and we are real. So it's got to be personal. But beyond that, it also has to be pointed, okay? Your personal brand should be focused and specific. It can't be all over the place. Let's get to know you for something. It's got to be pointed. What do you want to achieve? So it's like we were with Agwings thinking about this discussion, because you can just see how well blended it is. Beyond it being pointed, you want it to be purposeful, right? What did the maker who sent me out here make me for? And I'm telling you, each one of us is made for something, created to achieve a certain purpose. So as you are getting through a coaching journey, as you're beginning to frame your authenticity, beginning to speak into the pointedness of your personal brand's aspiration, the purposefulness will begin to show up. Because you want to think with the end in mind. You want to think with the end in mind. What do you want to achieve? Let it be aligned with your overall life goals, okay? And I think I have been here before and spoken a little bit around the personal brand, and I talked about, in some instances of your life journey, like when I began, it was probably a personal brand that was framed around a departmental responsibility. But as your career grows and as you navigate and you start picking up more responsibility, your personal brand could begin to shift into other stuff. Maybe within your church, maybe within your community, maybe within your neighborhood, you start taking on other roles because your leadership, your transformational leadership attributes are coming out. And people begin to say, could you be the secretary for us? Could you come and initiate this in our school? Could you join the board of our school? And then after that, and I'm reflecting a little bit on my personal journey, it can be that you've sort of self-actualized. You're 28. And now it's not so much about career success, it's about significance. It's about impact. It's all the experiences that could make a good case for advocating policy, advocating national values and national participation. Got it? So purposeful, really important. You have to put in the time and energy and effort. So prioritized. Your personal brand must be prioritized. It's a thing you're thinking to do daily. It's not something that you sort of like, Allah, September imefika, oh, this is the month I reflect on my personal brand. It's got to be something you're working on daily. How are you channeling the key messages that help us to appreciate who you are, your personal brand? How are you helping for us to remember the thing you told us last quarter, the thing you told us last year, so that there's a consistency? And in the consistency, we are beginning to trust you. We're beginning to find that you're a credible personal brand for us to talk about, to recommend, to drop your name in the right places. Lastly, within the personal brand, is that it's got to be profitable. Come on, guys. And not necessarily financially. It's got to be profitable because it's opening doors for you. It's getting you referred. It's getting you considered. It's getting you, collaborated. It's getting you into partnerships. It's doing stuff for you. That's the profitability. It's earning you brownie points. It's earning you recommendations. Come on, guys. It has to be profitable. So we talked about it being personal. It's got to be pointed. It's going to be purposeful. It's going to be prioritized. This is not something you put at the bottom of the pile that when I'm done with life, I'll finally begin to work on it. Okay.